Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Thursday, October 11th, 2018. This is The Green Light. Thank you for tuning in today. So we got a couple topics to start off with right off the bat. We're going to not go NFL to start today. I'm going to go UFC to start. So, as most of you know, last Saturday was the McGregor Khabib fight. For those of you that bought it, it was probably one of the best pay-per-views that I've seen personally with the UFC. The Ferguson-Pettis fight was the fight of the night. I really liked the pairing of Ferguson and Pettis. I actually think that you need to do a rematch with Ferguson and Pettis. I think because Pettis broke his hand, it didn't end the way fans wanted it to. Ferguson probably would have won the fight, but they were throwing so many haymakers that you really didn't know. But I wanted to give my thoughts on the main event. McGregor, Khabib. It went 4 rounds. Khabib won via rear naked choke in I think 2 minutes left. Here's my thing, okay? I sent out a tweet right after the fight because I see all of these fans on Twitter saying, oh my God, Conor's over. Khabib is the greatest fighter in the UFC. He killed Conor. Conor just didn't look good. That's just ridiculous. Okay, first of all, it was Conor's first fight in 2 years, and the dude did not look that bad. He came in there and looked pretty solid. I don't know what to tell people. Khabib is not going to be a good pay-per-view fighter. And what I mean by that is he will not generate pay-per-view buys. The numbers haven't come out that I've seen for this fight, but the pay-per-view buys were close to 3 million in pay-per-view buys. Not money, pay-per-view buys. So, do you think Khabib versus Ferguson would do that? It won't. And here's why. McGregor can generate pay-per-view buys. Now, I agree. Khabib is an excellent fighter. I think he is better than McGregor in some areas of fighting. Wrestling is the one that comes to mind, right? But if you go into a fight and you just bring your opponent to the ground constantly and punch him on the ground, that's not going to make fans want to watch you. Now, of course, the UFC can't really do anything about this. They have to schedule him. Now, we don't know what's going to happen with the Nevada State Athletic Committee. We don't know what's going to happen. He could go back to Russia and get his visa taken, for all we know. But for someone that's supposed to be the best fighter on the planet, Conor McGregor looked way better standing up than Khabib. Now, I know that's Conor's strong suit, but if you're so much better than Conor, you should have killed him in every area. He should have looked horrible. But Conor, he won round 3, which was the first round Khabib lost in the UFC. And then, yes, Conor lost round 1 and 2 because it was on the ground. He lost round 2 by a long shot. Conor was getting pummeled, and he still made it out. Round 1, it was really, really boring. Like, Conor and Khabib were just on the ground and playing defense. So I think the UFC is going to schedule a rematch. I want a rematch quick. Yes, I do like the idea of Ferguson and Khabib, but I don't know, 1, if Khabib is going to be able to fight soon, and 2, you need to have another fight with Conor. You have to. You can't just say, okay, Conor lost, we're going to go to the next guy. No. And I'm not even going to talk about what Khabib did. Everybody in America knows how wrong that was and why he's going to get disciplined for it. It's the matter of who is the fight. The UFC is not stupid. For people who are saying we want to see Ferguson Khabib, it's not going to happen. it won't generate even close to the pay-per-view buys that this one did. And I think Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, it's going to generate more than the first one, if not more, close to it. Okay? So it's going to be, they're going to run it again. And I think Conor has a really good shot if he can work on the wrestling game. He didn't get knocked out. He tapped to a rear naked choke. So please, stop with all of the nonsense that Khabib is this unbeatable force. From what I saw, Khabib can be beaten. And it won't be hard for Conor. He had good defense in the third round for the wrestling. He can beat Khabib, and I think the second fight will be better than the first. All right, now NBA before we go to NFL. See, all this new stuff coming up. So I want to talk quickly about the Jimmy Butler situation in Minnesota. Listen, if Jimmy Butler is your best player, you are not going to win an NBA title. There's certain players that are good role players, like stars, but are good role players. Klay Thompson comes to mind. If Klay Thompson was on the Orlando Magic, they wouldn't win a title because it's not a player that can transcend a team. It's a player that can make your team better. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota. If I was Jimmy Butler, I wouldn't have went back to practice. But the fact that he went back to practice and talked to all of the teammates that he talked bad about, especially Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. I know Tom Thibodeau wants to keep Jimmy. There's no question. Like, he should have been traded already. The owner wants him gone. But Tom wants him here. I don't think you can be a good team if everybody's on a riff. So like I said, I'm talking about this real quick. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves have to trade him within the next couple weeks. Get him out. Get him away from your team. Karl Anthony Towns is your transcending player. Andrew Wiggins is your star. Get rid of Jimmy Butler and keep those two in your sights. All right, so a couple of announcements before I go into my week 6 picks for the NFL. Next week, on October 18th, I will have my NBA prediction show with all of my predictions on NBA standings, who I think will go to the playoffs, and who I think will win the title. And then on that same show, I will give my week 7 picks for the NFL. All right, so into my predictions for NFL week 6. I am 43-34 for the season. Again, I'm still over 500, doing pretty well. So first, we got tonight, Eagles and Giants, 8:20 p.m. tonight. I'm going to go Eagles. The Giants are just a whole hunk of mess. Odell, like I said, is a diva. You can't help a diva. Mr. Odell wants more touches. He's going to get more touches. But if Odell's your star player, you're not getting far. I'm going Eagles. Bucks and Falcons. I'm going to go Falcons here. I don't know what's up. Like I said on my last show, I think the Falcons have the best chance to go to the playoffs and to go to the Super Bowl with a losing record. That defense is just horrible. I think they're the worst defense in the league. They'll fix it around with the Bucks, but they need to figure that defense out. Panthers and Redskins. I'm going to go Panthers. The Redskins are favored. I don't know why. They looked absolutely atrocious last week against the Saints. Now, I know all the hoopla with Drew Brees setting the record for the most passing yards might have factored in, but you got to play better than that. If you're an offensive team and you only put, I think it was 17 points or 17 or 24 points, that's not good. I'm going to go Panthers here. Seahawks and Raiders. I'm going to go Raiders here. I have a hunch. I've had a hunch with the Raiders every time I pick them, and they keep disappointing me. The Seahawks, their offense and their defense is okay at best. I think the Raiders might be able to put up a lot of points on the Seahawks, so I'm going to go Raiders here. Again, I don't know why. The Seahawks almost beat the Rams, but I'm going to go Raiders. Colts versus Jets. I'm going to go Colts. they should have lost by a lot more than 14 last week. I think it sets them off. The Jets looked pretty good last week. Darnold looked on fire, but I think it's going to subside a little bit. I think I'm going to go Colts here. Cardinals versus Vikings. I'm going to go Vikings, hands down. I don't really even need to talk about that. It's just a way better team. Steelers versus Bengals. I'm not picking the Steelers. I am picking the Bengals. Listen, I have nothing. I do. I have something against the Steelers. I just don't like the attitude of their team. I don't like the players. I don't like how they act. It's just not my style. I don't like to pick a team like that. I will give them props. They blew out the Falcons. The Falcons' offense and defense just looked horrible. But the Bengals are looking good like they have been. So I'm going to go Bengals here before the Steelers go on by. Chargers and Browns. I'm going to go Chargers. The Browns' defense is great. I love them to death. But I think the Chargers' offense is just going to be too powerful. And I think their defense is going to be able to stop Baker this weekend. I'm going to go Chargers. Bills versus Texans. I'm going to go Texans. I think they're going to start going on a roll after beating the Cowboys. You play the Bills. The Bills are going to be the team that I cannot pick. Nobody's going to be able to pick which week they can win. They're just a wild card, crazy horse team that nobody knows the week that they're going to do well, I guess. I'm going to go Texans here. I don't know what's going to happen, though. Bears versus Dolphins. This one's a toss-up for me. I think this is the game that you probably want to bet on, just straight, if you're going to bet for a game. The Bears are a solid team. The Dolphins are coming off 2 straight losses. I'm going to go Bears here. Again, I just like their defense. But if you go for the Dolphins, I think that would be a good bet too. I don't know what the spread is, but let me check really quick for you guys. Yeah, Chicago's favored by 3.5. I say if you bet for the Dolphins, it's a solid field goal and a half because they're giving you a couple points, but that's a field goal game. So I'd bet on the Dolphins, but I'm picking the Bears to win. Rams, Broncos. I'm going Rams here. Listen, I have nothing against the Broncos. The Rams are just the better team. I think they can go undefeated to a certain degree. We'll see if Cooper Kupp and Brandon Cooks can play this week, but I still, even with them out, I'm going Rams. Ravens and Titans. I'm going Ravens. Like I said, the Titans don't have an identity. They don't have a style. They're just a team going out to play football. They've got a couple good players. You know, Derrick Henry, I like him. Dion. Mariota's not your franchise quarterback. I think they're starting to see that now, but I'm going to go Ravens here. I think they got this week. Jags versus Cowboys. I'm going to go Jags. Cowboys, I can't pick them. They are playing the Jags, and the Jags did come off of a hard loss. That was against Kansas City, but I'm just going to go Jags here. I can't rely on the Cowboys anymore. 49ers versus Packers. I'm going to go Packers here. Like I said, CJ Beathard does not look bad, but he doesn't look great either. 49ers lost to the Cardinals. The Cardinals got their first one of the year. Aaron Rodgers can beat the 49ers easy. I'm going to go Packers here. And now, my highlighted game of the week. I think everybody's highlighted game of the week. Chiefs versus Pats. Listen. Like I've told you, I think Patrick Mahomes is the stud of the league. He's the next star. The Chiefs are on fire. They are the favorite to go to the Super Bowl right now. But I am picking the Patriots to win. You can hold me to that. Win or lose, I will talk about it on my show next week. Listen, you got Patrick Mahomes, a young quarterback rookie. Never played in New England before. It's always daunting for quarterbacks playing against the greatest quarterback and greatest player of all time. Listen, it's going to be a good game. It's not going to be a blowout by any means. But I think Tom Brady, of course, has more experience in these type of games than Patrick Mahomes. This is a Sunday night football game. I think the Pats come out on top. I'm sorry, Chiefs fans, but I'm picking the Patriots. All right, that's my show today, guys. Again, next week is going to be the NBA prediction show, October 18th. It's going to also include the NFL Week 7 picks. Please tweet me at Mr_Trey07 with all of the new news and fun stuff that's going on in sports this week. I hope I shed a light on your day, and I hope to shed a light on you in the future. Enjoy the game tonight, guys.